Echo Valley isn't groundbreaking storytelling, with its whole theme of how far would a parent go to protect their child, not leading to any sort of profound revelations, and it's the sort of mid budget, star driven movie that we get plenty of as mainstream productions in the 90s and 2000s, instead of just being direct to streaming like it is now. But at the very least, this dark, gloomy thriller, written by Mayor of Easttown creator Brad Inglesby, does serve as a nice showcase for the always reliable Julianne Moore. She gives, as usual, an incredibly committed performance that keeps this fairly captivating, and she even elevates some narrative missteps, because sometimes it felt like it bit off a little more than it can chew. On one hand, it tries to be this familial drama that has multiple layers to it. Julianne Moore is grieving the loss of her wife, and she has a contentious relationship with both her husband, played by a criminally underused Kyle MacLachlan in a cameo, as well as her troubled daughter, played by Sydney Sweeney. In one of her better performances, even if she doesn't get quite as much to do as the film goes on. The film sometimes tries to center this grief and these strained relationships, but it can only go so far because at the same time, it also tries to be a crime thriller with the introduction of an associate of her daughter's played by an enjoyably scene-chewing Donald Gleason, who was one of the highlights for me. And I actually really liked this side of the film, though it definitely had some struggles balancing the two, ultimately leading to it feeling a bit surface level in some regards since it only goes so far with its character work. The crime thriller aspects wind up taking more center stage in the second half, and when the focus shifts squarely to that, I actually thought that that's where it really picked up, since I found that to be the more fleshed out storyline. Again, storytelling isn't anything too new here, but there's some exceptionally crafted atmosphere that kept things engaging with almost this cat and mouse aspect added to it that I won't spoil, but I did enjoy, especially due to a final act that I'd even call a little bit of fun. So it ends on a fairly strong note, and it overall doesn't lead to anything spectacular, but it was a pretty decent little thriller that isn't a bad way to kill 2 hours, so I found it worth the watch.